would have been her first kiss. Meanwhile, Harold heads into town to buy supplies and suddenly remembers he technically lost his job last night. He stands in front of his old workplace like it is a boss fight, debating whether to go inside or just accept poverty. Before he can decide, the owner bursts out the door, sees him, and immediately starts crying while grabbing him. Turns out the man thought Harold died in the fire and was mourning him the whole time, which flips the mood instantly. Inside the shop, Harold explains everything, including the fire and the plan to head south for the labyrinth. The owner says he will not pry into the details and disappears into the back before returning with an envelope stuffed with cash. Harold tries to refuse, saying he did not earn it, but the man insists it is a retirement gift after 15 years of hard work. He says masters always take care of their disciples, and honestly this dude is nicer than half the fantasy kingdoms combined. Harold thanks him properly, and heads back to the cabin feeling lighter than he has in days. Atty greets him with food ready, and a massive chicken sitting on the table like she hunted a mini-boss. He gives her a hat as a souvenir to hide her ears, and she smiles like he just handed her the crown jewels. The next day, they visit the equipment shop to gear up for the labyrinth. Harold asks which weapon is best, expecting some simple answer. Atty calmly explains every weapon has pros and cons before casually choosing a sniper rifle, like this is a modern shooter. He just stares because she went from rock-throwing bird assassin to long-range menace in one sentence. And the shop owner says the price is 50,000 rubes. Harold immediately asks if she wants something more expensive, thinking bigger price equals better power. She shakes her head and says the cheap cost is exactly why she likes it, plus she prefers a clean single-shot rifle anyway. If she had a magic bow it would be stronger, but when Harold checks the tag and sees 6.8 million rubes, his soul practically leaves his body. Bro thought he was shopping and accidentally walked into a luxury car dealership. No way they are affording that unless they start selling organs. So the rifle wins by default. Atty explains that guns still have solid power and penetration, and bullets are way cheaper as long as they do not waste shots. The downsides are noise and slightly harder aim, but they can buy parts to reduce the sound, and she has no problem hitting targets. She keeps talking about weapons like a total nerd, and Harold just watches her ramble with this goofy smile. For once she sounds excited instead of guarded, which honestly feels nice to see. He tells the owner to pack the rifle, the noise reducer, ammo, gloves, belt, and some armor too. Atty lights up like it is Christmas morning, and thanks him, promising she will be useful. Man really just funded her entire build while he is still running default settings. After leaving the shop, they get ready to head to the maze, and Atty notices he barely has any armor at all. She tells him that since he is her master, he should be better equipped, but Harold waves it off and says the gear is more important for her. He claims he will upgrade later once they earn money, which is code for I am broke right now. All he carries is a cheap short spear that looks like it would snap if you glare at it too hard. He even admits it might break after one serious hit, so he probably will not get more than one swing anyway. Bro entering a death dungeon with clearance rack equipment is crazy behavior. This is not confidence, this is poverty cosplay. On the way, Atty explains how the labyrinth works and says monster management depends on how peaceful the region is. Hunters are allowed to keep monster materials as payment because clearing them stops monsters from overflowing outside. Harold listens quietly and wishes his father had told him more about this stuff when he was younger. Back then his dad trained him but kept saying he had no talent, which stuck with him more than it should have. His father was a respected labyrinth hunter who went too deep one day and never came back. Trying to reach the bottom with a spear of all things is basically asking for a bad ending. The man chased endgame loot and got deleted instead. He already lost his mother to illness, then lost his father to the maze, so growing up alone kind of became normal. That is exactly why he hates feeling weak now and refuses to run away anymore. Atty notices his mood dip and asks if something is bothering